Everyone, welcome to Rate My Gadget, and I'll be showing you the best smart plug you can buy for your money. So I'll be looking at both of these in terms of design, functionality. Do they link with other smart devices such as Alexa or Google, energy usage, and overall give you a view on what I think is the best one out there. So let's get started. So first things first, the two main ones on the market, and Amazon obviously kind of rule the kind of shopping world. So the two on there are the Meross plug and Amazon's version. Okay, so I'll show you both of those. They are the two main ones. There are other ones out there that you can get from AliExpress and even on Amazon themselves. However, these are the two main smart plugs, you know, in terms of the number and people that purchase them. So let me first of all show you the design. So here we go. So I've got these both plugged in. If I just take this out, this is the Amazon plug on the right hand side, and then this is the Meross plug on the left hand side. Now you can immediately see that the Amazon plug is much deeper down here and the Meross plug is slightly wider. So if I actually unplug that, I'll turn these off just in case it gives me an issue. You can see that the Meross plug is ever so slightly wider, but the good thing with the Meross plug is it's got a recess in here. Okay, so that does mean that if you've got any wires or anything that you need to wrap around here, which is quite useful, I quite like that. So if I plug that back in, and then the Amazon one also has a recess around it, so both very similar in that way. The biggest issue I have with the design of these is it depends on where you're putting them. So if you look at depth from the wall, the Amazon is slightly shallower, probably by about 4 mil. So they're both quite deep, so you need to be mindful of that. The bigger issue I have is I prefer the Meross design for two reasons. If I turn these both on, okay, so obviously these are both meant to be used with the apps. However, the Meross, to turn it on and off, and if I plug in this, okay, turn it on and off manually, you just hit the top button like that, which in 9 times out of 10 is quite easily accessible. If I then plug it into the Amazon one, the button is on the bottom left down here. It's just not as accessible, and especially if you're going to have to come down here, basically you're coming from the bottom, plugging it in. So, you know, in my instance, if I'm putting this behind the television, and I want to just quickly, you know, because I've got it on a sleep timer overnight, I want to turn this on without having to go into the app, because, you know, you have to go down here and you can't get your finger easily down between the two, okay, to turn it on and off. That's the disadvantage I have with the Amazon. The thing with the Amazon is you've got this deep bottom to it. Now, you know, that shouldn't be a problem, because if your electrician has done a good job, the plug should be well clear from the floor area. However, if you've got anything where you're plugging these into, say, like a 4-gang or something like that, this stays quite nicely housed, although it does come out slightly deeper. This, however, sits out of the bottom here. So in some instances, when, especially if I've plugged it into something that's behind a television, maybe with a shelf or something that's near here, this gives me real problems. So the depth of this gives me issue, and the fact that the button, I can't get to the side. Okay, so that's the design of them. Let me show you the functionality of them. I'm going to start with the Meross on the left hand side. So the Meross, the advantage over the Meross is that it's got its own app, which sounds strange to say it's an advantage. However, that means that you've got a dedicated app that you can quickly connect to. Really easy to connect up, really easy to set up first instance. The other thing as well, and I'll show you on the left hand side, you can set up what's called scenes and routines. Now, the disadvantage I don't like with Meross, and this is because I've got other smart devices, is if you want to set schedules which are on and off, for example, you have to set up individual when you want it to come on, when you want it to come off. So for example, if you looking to put it behind your television and you want this to turn off at night, let's say 11 o'clock, and come on in the morning at 6 AM, you have to set up 2 different setups, one for it to turn off, one for it to turn on. And I've seen better interfaces. If anyone's got the Nest thermostat out there, it's a much better interface in which you can see the whole calendar of days. Okay. The other big advantage over the Meross, which the Amazon doesn't have, is that the Meross will allow you to connect to Amazon, Google Assistant, Apple, SmartThings. So it is really universal, whereas the Amazon will only let you set it up with the Alexa system. Okay. Now that means that Meross, if you did want to voice control it, you could do that if you had a Google speaker, or you had an Alexa speaker, or even an Apple. The thing, and I wondered if this was going to be the case, but it isn't. When you buy the Amazon one, I wondered if there was a microphone on here. So even though you couldn't, potentially, you know, it wouldn't be a speaker. So Alexa, please turn off plug. There is no speaker. There is no microphone on it. And I naively thought that what this block was. So if you did want to use this, and it sounds obvious, if you did want to use this for your Alexa device, for Amazon, you need a separate Echo or Alexa device to be able to control it. So now I'm going to try and use my home energy monitor to see what the energy usage is like on standby mode. So first of all, I'm going to turn the plug on and off for the Meross. Yeah, so it's gone up a watt. Okay, and the other thing I'll do, so while that's on, is I'll hit the button so there's no power coming from it. I'll hit the button on, so that off, on, off. So that there is taking, yeah, 1 watt. Okay, now I'll go to the Amazon. So Amazon I'll turn on. Off. Goes down a watt. Let me turn it back on again. Let me turn the Amazon on. It goes up a watt. Both of these actually only use about a watt. So overall, I think I would recommend the Meross. It is slightly bulkier, in which it sits out from the wall, slightly prouder. However, you can use it with Google, you can use it with Alexa, you can use it with Apple. The other thing also I like about the Meross is it's good for a 4-gang, if that's what you're using it for, or it is quite useful to have this button on the top to turn on and off. So if you wanted to use Meross, you could use it in its own dedicated app, or you could use it with Alexa or Amazon. Whereas this, the Amazon one, you can only use it for Amazon. You can't use it for Google, you can't use it for Apple or any of those kind of things. Okay, energy usage is the same, cost is around about the same. So if you're going to go for it, I'd recommend the Meross. Okay, I hope that's helped. Please do like, please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Any questions, please put them in the comments. Thanks for watching.